Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Philosophy of Fitness podcast, episode number 68. My name is Haley. I'm going to be your host today, and every single day that you are tuning in, hello, my friends. I hope you are all doing fabulously. I am here today by myself. It's just me, and I really love these episodes where I'm kind of just like by myself, rambling, sort of stream of consciousness type scenarios. So welcome. I hope that you're having a fabulous day. I'm having a pretty good day. I'm feeling pretty good. You know, I gotta be honest, I have been feeling so good lately. Like, I've been feeling amazing. And it's funny because life has these ebbs and flows, I feel like, where sometimes we're super motivated and really feeling like we're ready to get after things. And then other times we're kind of like feeling blah, like we don't really want to do them. But you know what? Right now, I am in the phase of really feeling good and really feeling like I want to get things done. I'm feeling very productive. I'm feeling very inspired, very driven, and it feels good. It feels really, really good. You know, I think the past few weeks have been a really nice kind of recharge time with the holidays. I had my brother in town, so that was really nice. And just some time to kind of like chill out and relax. And now I'm ready to be back in my hustle mode and I'm feeling really good. So I'm hoping I can share some of that good energy with you guys today. And today I kind of wanted to talk about something that's been on my mind and that I have actually realized has been so powerful with manifesting and with kind of aligning your energy and clearing out old energy. And that's cleaning your room and cleaning your living space. I don't know why it sounded like I just said clinging. I meant to say cleaning your living space. Nobody talks about this when it comes to manifestation, but it's so powerful. And it's not something that I always did. Let me tell you guys, I'll be the first to admit, I was the messiest kid as a child. My room was a mess. If I had pictures of like how disgusting it was, I would let clothes pile up all the time. I never made my bed. I really didn't care. Like, I was a very messy kid. And even in my family, I had the reputation of being somewhat of a slob, which is so crazy now because now I'm like the antithesis of that, where like I have to have everything cleaned and everything organized. But now, you know, as I've kind of grown up and also gone through my spiritual awakening, I've realized how important it is to have a clean space and how much your living space reflects what's going on in your mind. So that's what I wanted to talk about today, guys. It's really powerful to do. Cleaning out old shit, getting rid of it. Like, I don't know if anyone remembers listening to this, but there used to be this show, I think it was on the Style Network, and it was called Clean House. And I bring this up to my friends and nobody else seems to remember this show. Niecy Nash was the host, and at the start of every episode, she'd be like, "Who wants a clean house?" Like, she would sing that at the start. I actually have to look it up now because I'm genuinely curious. If you remember this show, I'd actually be pretty curious to know. But it was called Clean House. But basically, let's see. Clean House. Also, my laptop is telling me I have no storage space left, which kind of sucks. Clean House, 2003, 10 seasons. Weekly intervention for families whose homes have been taken over by knickknacks, dusty souvenirs, and other disarray. That's right. That was the show. I used to watch that all the time, and it was so satisfying watching them clean people's houses and get rid of people's clutter. And so, yeah, I don't know why that came into my head, but I've been kind of like thinking about this. So when you're thinking of things from a manifestation standpoint or from, you know, an energetic standpoint, I like to give people this example as just like a baseline. All right. Say that you want to redo your bedroom. This is going to be like a pretty cut and dry example for you. You want to redo your bedroom. You have this vision of what you want and you're kind of like sitting on it, but you've got all of this old stuff that's in the bedroom that you're not ready to let go of. But it's like you can't let that new stuff come in. You can't let the new furniture, the new bed, the new curtains, the new carpet, the new pillows, the new candles. You can't let any of that come in until you let go of all of the old stuff that's there, right? That's like a very literal example, I guess, that you could use that's like tangible to our five senses in this human experience, right? We all know that you can't redo a new room without getting rid of all of the old stuff that was once there before. And from an energetic standpoint, this is really powerful because when we're holding on to old things, old items, knickknacks, tchotchkes, whatever you want to call them, we're holding on to old energy too. So think about in your living space now, and I like to do this even looking around my podcast studio because I certainly have some things in here that I should throw away as well. But look around your living space and think in your head, like when you look at an object, that you have, you look at a certain shirt that you have or a certain jewelry box, whatever the case may be. Do you have specific memories, emotions, or feelings that are attached to that item? Like, let's say, for example, that you had a really pretty shirt that you wore, but you got broken up with when you wore that shirt. And it's hanging front and center in your closet and you see it every single day. You're subconsciously putting yourself back in the energy of being broken up with and lowering your vibration because you're holding on to the energy that object is sort of reiterating back to you and reflecting back to you. And that's why it's so powerful for us to clean our spaces and to get rid of old stuff. So if you're listening to this, my biggest piece of advice to you would be to really take pride in your living space. And if you can, give yourself a chance to go through your belongings and get rid of the stuff that doesn't serve anymore. This is actually one of the days that we do in my 21-day mindset program. I kind of teach you exactly how to do this, how to allow your living space to align with your goals, with your manifestations and your desires. So if you guys are interested in that, it's a 21-day course that really focuses on how you can manifest your fitness goals in particular. So we walk through everything. There's a daily lesson. There's daily journaling prompts for reflection. There's over 200 affirmations. I have some really powerful guided meditations that I've included in there as well. So if you guys are interested in that, just like I said, this is one of the days that we cover in the mindset program. And I'm giving you a special discount code as well. So if you're listening to this, you can use the code philosophy10 at checkout for receiving 10% off the mindset program. I've had some people go through it that have absolutely loved it. It's been super transformative. It's 21 days and you have lifetime access to the course too once you sign up for it. So I just wanted to throw that out there if you guys are interested. But anyway, back to today's topic, which is cleaning your living space. So again, the first step, first and foremost, would be to set aside the time to allow yourself to go through all of the things that you have. And from there, you can kind of pinpoint, okay, these are the objects that I have that I associate good memories with, or that I associate really high vibrational experiences and feelings with. Those are maybe things that you want to keep, like pictures with your family, pictures with loved ones. Maybe you have a special blanket or something. I don't know. I had a special yellow blanket. I'm 25 years old, but I had a special blanket that I had carried with me through childhood. And I unfortunately left it at a hotel that I stayed at recently. And I was so devastated. This is so embarrassing that I'm even sharing this, but I had a yellow blanket and I had it since I was a baby. There were like multiple iterations, I guess to say, of this blanket. So obviously the first one had like disintegrated, it had fallen apart. And then my mom kind of like sewed a piece of that onto another pillow and then a piece of that onto something else. So what I had at this point was like a scrap of fabric that was left over and it was so ratty. And, I left it at this hotel. I brought it with me everywhere. Like I brought this scrap of fabric with me when I studied abroad, when I was living in Italy for 5 months, every country that I went to, Greece, Spain, Italy, London, all these places. Like I always had this little yellow pillow with me. And unfortunately, back in October, I didn't realize that I left it in the hotel room that I was staying at. And I was so devastated. I literally cried. I cried to my mom. I said, I lost my yellow pillow. I was so sad. I told my brother, I told my dad, I told everyone. I was absolutely devastated that I had lost this piece of fabric that had meant so much to me, that had been through so many moments of my life, so many formative, moments of my life. It really made me sad. It felt like I had lost a pet or something. Like it really felt like that. But the reason that I point that out is because sometimes certain objects that we have hold so much emotional weight. And it's funny because not that I'm grateful that I lost my yellow pillow or blanket, whatever I want to call it. I like interchangeably use those terms because it was once a pillow, once a blanket. But once I lost that, I almost kind of like saw it from a different lens. And I was like, well, what if this is like an initiation into womanhood? Like, what if this is just me parting ways with the old way of being and me like actually stepping into my power now? And I was able to kind of take my power back in that way. Like, yes, I lost it, but there was also a lot of heavy emotion that was attached to my little yellow pillow blanket. Like that pillow had been through a lot. That pillow had seen me cry, through all kinds of things, all kinds of good things too. But there was a lot of emotional weight and a lot of energetic weight that was associated with my yellow pillow. And now that it's gone, it almost did feel like I had this internal shift. Like I've felt really good. I've felt very motivated. I've had a lot of clarity in terms of the direction that I want to go. And sometimes I do wonder if these objects, place an emotional and an energetic hindrance on what we're trying to work towards. So that's just one example. Obviously, like if you're listening to this, if you have, a favorite stuffed animal or a favorite pillow or a favorite blanket, you don't have to throw it away. Also, let's normalize people in their 20s having stuffed animals and pillows and blankets. People get so much shame for it. And I'm like, can we not do that? Because that thing was such a comfort to me. And it's okay. If you're out there, if you're listening to this and you've got a pillow or a blanket, like I feel you. All right. It's okay. I definitely think it needs to be more normalized because I was always so embarrassed to tell anyone about it. But I found out that a few of my friends had one too and like never said anything. So it's definitely super normal if you're not a kid and you still have that. So don't feel any shame for that. But again, think about the things that are existing around you in your environment that are making you feel a certain way. You want to get rid of the things that make you feel not so great, right? Get them out if you can. And you want to surround yourself with the things that do make you feel great and do make you feel good. So for me, like I've had such a shift. Like I said earlier in this episode, I was someone who was such a slob growing up, like really did not care about my room whatsoever. But as I've grown up and as I've sort of, learned more and explored myself more and am really learning to take care of myself to the best of my ability, I take a lot of pride in keeping my home and my room clean. And that's something that brings me so much joy. Like I love nothing more than waking up in the morning or going to bed at night and seeing that my room is clean around me, that I have things that are aesthetically pleasing around me. It just allows me to feel at ease and to feel comfortable and safe in my living space. And if my place were to be dirty and full of disarray and things strewn all about and unkempt, that would really keep me in a low vibration. That would keep me in a sort of frantic, chaotic mindset, which is not what I want. And that's not the place that you want to be in when you're trying to manifest. So that's why it's really important if you can find the strength and find the time to really go through your belongings. And this doesn't have to be like a hard thing either. I know for some of us, it's really hard to keep to a schedule of cleaning. But I challenge you, like if you, let's say you watch a Netflix show every night or something, like you watch something on TV that's 20 minutes long, or you watch a YouTube video that's 10 minutes long. What if you were to take that 10 minutes, that 20 minutes, and put it towards cleaning and organizing your stuff instead? I would almost be willing to bet you money that you would feel a difference in your energy and your vibration almost overnight. Because when your space is clean, your life is in order, everything internally, energetically is going to be in order as well. And I think a lot of times too, what we don't realize is that our outer space, our living space, is a reflection of our inner space. So it even happens to me still to this day. Like I'm not perfect. When I'm really stressed, when I'm frazzed, when I'm being pulled in 1,000 different directions and I really don't have systems in place, or I'm just not following the systems that I have in place to keep myself organized and to keep myself in balance, then that's when my room starts to get messy. That's when things start to get cluttered. That's when the energy starts to get stuck and starts to feel chaotic and heavy. So it's really all about just finding little ways that you can really make your living space exemplary of the life that you want to live. Like imagine the ideal version of you that's killing it in life, that's having an amazing life, career, love, relationship, whatever. Odds are they probably don't have a messy room. Like I even think for myself, or my vision of where I'm trying to go, my room is immaculate. So it's like live as if you're already at that place. I've said that before too. Live and be as if you're already there. Don't wait until you have the fancy new this, that, XYZ. You don't have to wait for anything outside of yourself to take care of what you already have. And a tangent that I think really kind of goes off of this too is to just like appreciate what you have. When you appreciate your things, you want to take care of them. You want them to be in order. You want them to be clean. You want them to be pristine and well kept. And keeping your things clean and organized is another way to really express gratitude for everything that you currently have already right now. Even if it's not much, like making your bed is one of those little things that we can do every day that makes such a difference. And there's a lot of people that have discussed this too. I think people in the military have talked about the importance of making your bed every single day and how transformative it can be, kind of just like getting you into the cycle of having a routine. Morning routines too. I can do a whole nother podcast on morning and evening routines. I've done tons of YouTube videos on those if you guys want to check them out. But in general, keeping your space clean is so important. And I'm going to explain to you now the reason why it's important for manifesting in particular, which I kind of touched on earlier, but I want to elaborate a little bit more on now. So, when we get rid of all of this old energy, like I said with the analogy of like renovating your bedroom earlier, when we get rid of the old clutter that's been stuck in our way, when we really take the time to sort through things, think about this from even a metaphorical standpoint. Like, how metaphorical is it that cleaning your room, organizing your things, finally going through your drawers, finally sifting through them, taking out the things that don't need to be there, putting in the things that do need to be there. That is such a huge metaphor for inner work, right? Shadow work, facing your shadow, integrating the shadow, letting go of the past, letting go of the things that do not serve, bringing in the things that you do need, bringing in the thoughts that are fruitful, that are going to feed you towards working towards your manifestations and your goals. It's really the same kind of thing. And that's why I say your living space is so closely connected to what's going on inside. Because when you take the time to do that with your living space, to weed out all that old junk that you don't need anymore, you've cleansed the palette. It's like you have a clean slate now. It's like, okay, you're basically telling the universe, okay, I am ready, I am open, and I am willing to receive all of the blessings and all of the abundance that you have for me, universe, and I am so excited to be receiving it. That's what you're putting out energetically when you're cleaning your living space. And not to mention, it raises your vibration anyway, because you're going to be happier because you're not dealing with clutter and, junk all the time. Think about it. I mean, some of us are not as bothered by mess. Like that goes without saying. But also, wouldn't it feel really good to just have your living space be in order all the time and to just relish in that and to enjoy the comfort of it? Something else that I had spoken about on my Instagram a few weeks ago is this Nordic principle called hygge. It's a really funny word. It's pronounced hygge, but it's spelled like Hygge or something like that. And it's basically this Nordic idea of embracing comfort, especially during the winter months. It's like surrounding yourself with things that are cozy, surrounding yourselves with things that give you that warm, fuzzy feeling. So whatever hygge means to you, try to incorporate that into your living space as well. Again, anything that's healthy, that's productive, that raises your vibration is something that's going to absolutely catapult your manifesting abilities and make you a manifesting machine. And keeping your living space clean is one of those things. And I've absolutely noticed a difference in it. I think back to how frazzed my mindset used to be when I would keep my room a total freaking mess. And listen, I'm not perfect. It gets messy sometimes now too, but I definitely, making my bed every morning, these little things like organizing my things and not letting my drawers get, so thrown about where nothing's folded. Like, it sounds silly, but these little things make a really big difference. So if you take anything away from this, if you've got time now, go listen to another one of my episodes, go clean your room, or if you're driving, whatever, see if you could clean your room or your house a little bit when you get home and notice how you feel afterwards. I guarantee you're going to feel better than when you kind of left it messy. So I hope that gave you some insight, my friends. I certainly hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you love the show, if you're loving my vibe, it would mean the world to me if you subscribed over on Apple Podcasts. If you left a rating and review too, it really helps me out with the little algorithm. It helps push this to more people. And if you're watching this on YouTube, hit the subscribe button and that little notification bell so you guys don't miss out on more episodes. But thank you so much for tuning in. I am sending you so much love and light, and I will see you next time.